Hi future officers, welcome to EduTap and welcome to another important CT 360 series session in which we cover the important general awareness and economic and social issues current affairs from examination point of view. And my dear friends, today we will be covering the important current affairs from 29 to 31st of July 2025. If you are preparing for the RBI NABARD, SEBI or the other banking examinations like IBPS PO, SBI PO, then let me tell you here that this is your one-stop solution for your comprehensive current affairs preparation for the upcoming examinations. And that's why in these sessions we are not just covering the important current affairs, but we are also helping you to have that ability that whenever you see a current affair, what are the important dimensions you need to cover from there? What are the important facts, dimensions that you need to cover from those current affairs? And that is why we basically conduct this session across the three important stages, where the first stage is the revision of the previous session, because there is no point in covering the latest session without any revision of the previous session, until and unless you are appearing and you are watching this session for the very first time. Okay. Apart from that, my dear friends, the second stage is the coverage of important current affairs of the given date that we have provided here. And after that, we solve the important MCQs on the lines across which question can be asked in the examination. So now guys, if I'm audible and visible to all of you, please give me a thumbs up in the chat box so that we can start with the today's session. So good evening, Deepak, Harshal, Fruity and all other people who have joined us live in the today's session. So before starting this session, my dear friends, I am having a schedule for all of you. Basically, this is the schedule of all the current affair initiatives that we have taken for your comprehensive current affairs preparation for the upcoming examinations. Like so many people are having the pain point of coverage of schemes. Like, sir, schemes में क्या पढ़ना है, कितना पढ़ना है, कौन सी स्कीम पढ़नी है, कैसे पढ़नी है, क्या dimensions हैं. So we are covering all the things, all the aspects in the government scheme session that we conduct every Monday, Wednesday and Friday at 10:30 AM. Apart from that, we are having a Perspective 360 series session for the people who are struggling with the descriptive writing. So descriptive writing is another important major pain point of the students after the initiation of the descriptive writing in the regulatory bodies exams. And that is why, to cater to that and to resolve the problem of the descriptive writing, we have come up with the Perspective 360 series session where we cover the important descriptive writing elements and how to write a proper descriptive answer. And we conduct these sessions every Monday, Wednesday and Friday at 5 PM. Moving ahead, my dear friends, the people who are preparing for banking examination and the RBI Grade B officer exam, then let me tell you that finance current affairs and RBI notifications are a very important component for your exam. And that's why we cover the Finance 360 series session where we cover important finance current affairs and your RBI notifications every Tuesday, Thursday and Saturday at 10 AM. Now guys, the last but not the least, your CT 360 series session where we cover important general awareness and economic social issues current affairs from examination point of view. So how to read them, what exactly is the way and approach to approach such kind of news articles, what are the important aspects, dimensions, facts, figures you need to cover, how to retain them, and at the end of the session, we also practice it in the CT 360 series session that we conduct every Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday at 5 PM. So guys, I hope that all of you are really well versed with the schedule and you are following these sessions at a regular intervals. And now let's move ahead to the most important part, that is a list of topics that we are going to cover in the today's session. And you can see here I'm having a long list of topics that we will be covering in the today's session, where you can see the first 5 topics are the ones which are relevant for your phase 1 and phase 2 if you are preparing for regulatory bodies exams, and the remaining articles are only important for your phase 1 examination. Now what is the way of identifying this part, that what is important for phase 1 only and what is important for both the phases? That is, if there is a topic which is related to the topic mentioned in the syllabus of your RBI examination or the NABARD examination, it becomes important for both phase 1 and phase 2. And if there is some particular current affair which is related to the, which is not even related to the topic mentioned in the syllabus, it is only relevant for phase 1 of the examination. And that's why you can see the following articles are only relevant for phase 1 examination. But if you are preparing for banking examinations, then let me tell you here that all these current affair articles are important for your phase 2 examination if you're preparing for banking or the insurance examinations, right? So I hope that this is properly clear to everyone. These are the list of topics, some very important topics that we will be covering in the today's session. Now moving ahead to the very important component of the session, that is the revision of the previous session. And now we will see that whether you have revised and retained the important news articles of the previous session or not. So let's start it. The first part is the National Mission for Clean Ganga, which has approved River Cities Alliance. तो दोस्तों रिवर सिटी अलायंस को रिसेंटली अप्रूवल दिया गया था और आपको आइडेंटिफाई करना है ये जो आरसीए है इसको कब लॉन्च किया गया था, इन विच ईयर इट वाज बीन लॉन्च्ड, एंड इनिशियली ओनली 30 रिवर सिटीज वर द पार्ट ऑफ द रिवर सिटी अलायंस. सो व्हाट एग्जैक्टली इज द टाइम व्हेन इट वाज बीन लॉन्च्ड? इट वाज लॉन्च्ड इन नवंबर 2021. नवंबर 2021 में इसको लॉन्च किया गया था. दैट इज द राइट आंसर एंड इट इज मैनेज्ड बाय व्हिच ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस? What are the two entities which are managing it? That is, one is already mentioned here, NMCG, and the other one is NIUA. That is the right answer. And I want all of you to give me the right answers in the chat box, guys. So do not worry. अगर आपने रिवीजन नहीं की है तो आपकी रिवीजन हो जाएगी, बट प्लीज इंश्योर कीजिए कि जब भी आप सेशन में आए तो रिवाइज करके आए दोस्तों, ठीक है? सो बढ़ते हैं नेक्स्ट पार्ट की तरफ. नेशनल मिशन ऑन कल्चरल मैपिंग को इस्टेब्लिश कौन सी मिनिस्ट्री ने किया है? विच मिनिस्ट्री इस्टेब्लिश द नेशनल मिशन ऑन कल्चरल मैपिंग? हम किसकी बात कर रहे हैं? कल्चर की बात कर रहे हैं. सो इट विल बी द मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ कल्चर विच हैज एस्टैब्लिश्ड नेशनल मिशन ऑन कल्चरल मैपिंग. एब्सोल्युटली राइट. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज ऑन द न्यू डिजिटल क्रेडिट असेसमेंट मॉडल. नाउ फर्स्ट डायमेंशन इज दैट यू हैव टू टेल मी हियर for which type of borrowers this new digital credit assessment model has been launched. So किसके लिए लॉन्च किया गया था? It was been launched for MSME borrowers. MSME borrowers. And now you have to tell me here that these MSME borrowers across India, तो किस तरीके के borrowers को यहाँ पर इंक्लूड किया गया है? So क्या वो नए borrowers हैं या फिर already existing borrowers के लिए ही इसको लॉन्च किया गया है? That is what you have to tell me here. So please tell me here. For what type of borrowers? These are new borrowers or the existing borrowers to that particular bank. So this is basically for both new and existing borrowers of the bank. That is the right answer. Moving ahead, Pen Translate Award was being conferred by English Pen. What is the name of the person who has been given this award? What is the name of that person who has been given this award for her Hindi novel Once Elephants Lived Here, and which was translated into English by Daisy Rockwell? What is the name of this person? The name of the person is Gitanjali Shri. So Gitanjali Shri is the right answer. And I can see in the chat box so many people are giving me the right answer to these questions. Well done, my dear friends. बढ़ते हैं अगले क्वेश्चन की तरफ. So the chairman of ISRO and secretary of the Department of Space who has been given GP Birla Memorial Award. What is the name of this person? I'm waiting for your responses in the chat box. What is the name of this person? It is Dr. V. Narayanan. Absolutely right. I can see here in the chat box so many people giving me the right answers to this particular question. Well done, guys. Moving ahead, the 19-year-old prodigy from Nagpur won the 5 Women's Chess World Cup. We have seen that 5 Women World Chess title किसने जीता था? So basically the final was been taken place between Koneru Hampi and this 19-year-old person. What is her name? Divya Deshmukh. Divya Deshmukh is the right answer. She is a 19-year-old prodigy. Absolutely right. Moving ahead, National Broadcasting Day हम कौन सी डेट को सेलिब्रेट करते हैं guys? To commemorate the start of organized radio broadcasting in India. What is the date when we celebrate this particular day? It is 23 July. 23 July is the right answer. Next question, Exercise Bold Kurukshetra. Exercise Bold Kurukshetra took place between India and Singapore Army. But what is the venue? Where exactly this exercise was held? It was held in Jodhpur, Rajasthan. That is the right answer. Now the last question of the revision part, Kargil Vijay Divas. You have to tell me here. Every one of you have to tell me here on which date we celebrate Kargil Vijay Divas. So Kargil Vijay Divas हम कब मनाते हैं? It is celebrated every year on 26 July. July 26 is the right answer. Absolutely right. So I can see in the chat box, all the people are giving me the right answer to this question. That shows your commitment and hard work, that yes, you have revised the previous session. And apart from that, आप इन questions को बिना without even having the options, you are able to answer it. So is it really boosting up your confidence level? Please tell me in the chat box. क्या इससे आपका कॉन्फिडेंस लेवल बूस्ट होता है दोस्तों? अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट, आज आप मुझे ये भी बताइएगा कि ये जो हम रिवीजन सेशंस करा रहे हैं आपके सेशन से पहले, आर दे रियली हेल्पिंग यू आउट? क्या सही में आपकी मदद हो रही है? कुछ इंपॉर्टेंट डायमेंशंस आपको यहां से याद हो पा रही है? प्लीज डू लेट मी नो इन द चैट बॉक्स. सो इट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट कि अगर हम सिर्फ प्लेनली करंट अफेयर्स को कवर कर रहे हैं, सेशन में आ रहे हैं, देख रहे हैं, उसके बाद फिर अगले सेशन पर स्विच कर जा रहे हैं, लेट मी टेल यू हियर इट इज नॉट गोइंग टू हेल्प यू आउट. From the examination point of view, what we have to do, we have to retain the current affair. और retention कैसे होगी? When we will be revising it. So हमेशा ध्यान रखिए जब आप नए सेशन में आते हैं तो पिछले सेशन के इंपॉर्टेंट एस्पेक्ट्स को जरूर रिवाइज करके आए, सो दैट आप यहां पर आके क्वेश्चंस को इजीली आंसर कर पाए और साथ ही साथ आप इंश्योर कर पाए कि हाँ, वेदर आई एम एबल टू रिटेन देम और नॉट. अगर मैं नहीं रिटेन कर पा रहा हूं तो वो क्या मेजर एस्पेक्ट है जो मैं भूल जाता हूं. व्हाट इज दैट पर्टिकुलर डेटा, फैक्ट एंड फिगर दैट आई टेंड टू फॉरगेट from the examination point of view, so that I can work on that area and I can convert that weak area into my strength area. Okay, that is the reason I am conducting in the starting part of the every session. I am conducting these revision sessions. Okay, so thank you, and thank you for giving me your response in the chat box, guys. Really glad to see. Now guys, let's move ahead to the first topic of the today's session, and you can see here that there is an event Akhil Bharatiya Shiksha Samagam 2025 which was being held recently. It was basically inaugurated to commemorate 5 years of the National Education Policy 2020. So who was the chairperson of the drafting committee of National Education Policy 2020? It was Dr. K. Kasturi Ranjan ji, right? Dr. K. Kasturi Ranjan ji is the right answer. He also passed away recently. So that is the name. Please remember, so many times we have seen questions being asked across his name in the examinations, right? So we have inaugurated and commemorated 5 years of the National Education Policy 2020. और इसके लिए ही दोस्तों हमने बहुत सारे different initiatives को launch किया हुआ है. For example, यहाँ you can see here द तारा ऐप. तारा ऐप आप देख सकते हैं एक डेटा ड्रिवन डिसीजन मेकिंग है इन द एजुकेशन गवर्नेंस. इसके मदद से व्हाट वी आर ट्राइंग टू डू, वी आर ट्राइंग टू इंप्रूव रीडिंग फ्लुएंसी ऑफ द स्टूडेंट्स. ठीक है, एक रॉबस्ट प्लेटफॉर्म है जहां पर हम असेस कर सकते हैं और साथ ही साथ लोगों की जो रीडिंग फ्लुएंसी है उसको हम इंप्रूव कर सकते हैं. व्हाट इज द नेम ऑफ द ऐप? तारा ऐप. प्लीज याद रखिए तारा. दिस इज फॉर द स्टूडेंट्स इन ग्रेड्स 3rd to 8th स्टैंडर्ड. ओके, moving ahead, Swachh एवं हरित विद्यालय rating. So guys, in order to ensure that our younger generation is also focusing on the conservation of the environment, cleanliness in the environment, so that's why we have covered स्वच्छ एवं हरित विद्यालय. तो इसका सबसे पहला एग्जांपल उन्हें कहां से मिलेगा? उनके स्कूल से मिलेगा. Whether their school, the infrastructure in the school is green or not. Okay, and that's why a 5-star rating system is being launched on the 60 indicators, और इन 60 indicators को 6 categories के अंदर डिवाइड किया गया. What are these? Water, toilets, hand washing with soap, operation and maintenance, behavior change and capacity building, and mission life activities. So you all know that Prime Minister Modi ji launched the Mission Life initiative, guys. It is one of the initiative where we are basically trying to have a transition into the behavioral change in the people. So basically we are transitioning the behavior of the people and we are making it towards the environmental conservation. तो हमारी हैबिट्स ही एक इस तरीके की होनी चाहिए जिससे कि हम यहाँ पर एक माइंडफुल यूज कर रहे हैं, यूटिलाइजेशन कर रहे हैं अपने एग्जिस्टेंशियल रिसोर्सेज का. पहले क्या होता था, हम यूज करते थे चीजों को, डिस्पोज करते थे, बट नाउ वी वांट टू हैव अ माइंडफुल यूटिलाइजेशन ऑफ द रिसोर्सेज, राइट? सो हमारी हैबिट्स के अंदर ही एनवायरमेंट कंजर्वेशन होनी चाहिए, सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट के अंडर होनी चाहिए. सो दैट इज व्हाट अ मेजर शिफ्ट दैट हैज बीन कॉज्ड विद द हेल्प ऑफ मिशन लाइफ इनिशिएटिव. दैट्स व्हाई वी से मिशन लाइफ, राइट? सो मूविंग अहेड, इसके अंदर हमारे कुछ असेसमेंट टूल्स हैं, सिंप्लीफाइड क्वेश्चनायर्स है जिनको एनसीईआरटी ने, एनआईसी और यूनिसेफ ने डेवलप किया है. और साथ ही साथ आप देख सकते हैं कि डिस्ट्रिक्ट लेवल के ऊपर हम 8 स्कूल्स को नॉमिनेट करते हैं, राइट, फॉर अ स्टेट लेवल रिकॉग्निशन. अगर हम स्टेट लेवल की बात करते हैं 25 स्टार स्कूल्स को हम यहां पर नॉमिनेट करते हैं फॉर नेशनल लेवल रिकॉग्निशन, और 200 टॉप परफॉर्मिंग स्कूल्स को हम करते हैं, राइट? So you can see here the major important parts. So basically the schools which are really working a lot for maintaining the environmental conservation and setting as the example for the younger generation to follow the same. So basically उनके अच्छे काम को recognize भी किया जा रहा है. जैसे आप कुछ अच्छा काम करते थे दोस्तों तो आपको बचपन में जब स्कूल में थे, कॉलेजेस में थे तो रिकॉग्निशन मिलती थी, राइट? सिमिलरली जो ऐसे अच्छे परफॉर्मिंग स्कूल्स हैं उनको भी हम स्टेट, डिस्ट्रिक्ट और नेशनल लेवल पर रिकॉग्नाइज करेंगे एज अ पार्ट ऑफ दिस पर्टिकुलर इनिशिएटिव. I hope this is clear. Moving ahead, there is another digital initiative launched by the Department of Higher Education, that is VIBE, which engage, enjoy and enlighten. So एक artificial intelligence powered learning platform है जिसको एजुकेशन डिजाइन लैब ने डेवलप किया है. ओके और ये क्या करता है, जो हमारे एक मान लीजिए कॉम्पैक्ट लेसन है, राइट, सो उसको सेगमेंट्स में बांटकर एक बाइट साइज कंटेंट में क्रिएट करके इसे दिया जाता है विद एडॉप्टिव चैलेंजेस एंड रियल टाइम फीडबैक. तो यहां पर चैलेंज के साथ फीडबैक भी दिया जाता है सो दैट द स्टूडेंट्स कैन बेसिकली सी दैट व्हाट एग्जैक्टली दे नीड टू डू, राइट. अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट एडुकेटर्स को एम्पावर करता है बाय ऑटोमेटिंग रूटीन असेसमेंट्स. तो रूटीन असेसमेंट्स वो कर सके और इसके साथ साथ एडुकेटर्स को एम्पावर किया जा रहा है. और साथ ही साथ एक काफी इंपॉर्टेंट चीज है दोस्तों, इसको किसने लॉन्च किया, आईआईटी रोपर की एक लैब ने लॉन्च किया है, राइट. सो यू कैन सी वाइब, दैट इज एंगेज, एंजॉय एंड एनलाइटन बाय आईआईटी रोपर. देन वी हैव भाषा सागर ऐप. भाषा सागर ऐप में हमने क्या किया दोस्तों, अपनी मदर टंग पर हमने फोकस किया इन द नेशनल एजुकेशन पॉलिसी, राइट. सो जिससे कि हम इंश्योर कर सकें कि एटलीस्ट जो भी नॉलेज हमें मिल रही है वो मदर टंग में मिल रही है. सो इसीलिए we need to understand the Indian languages through the Indian languages. So this promotes learning Indian languages through Indian languages. पहले क्या होता था कि हम एक लैंग्वेज को सीखते थे इंग्लिश के जरिए, राइट. अब हम इंग्लिश का रोल नहीं कर रहे हैं बल्कि इंडियन लैंग्वेजेस को इंडियन लैंग्वेजेस के जरिए ही सीख रहे हैं. So that's what we are trying to do under the भाषा सागर ऐप. Moving ahead, we are having कोश श्री पोर्टल. सो ये एक डिजिटाइज्ड वर्जन है 35 वॉल्यूम्स ऑफ एनसाइक्लोपीडिक संस्कृत डिक्शनरी. तो इसके अंदर आप देख सकते हो कि काफी सारे टूल्स हैं, संस्कृत फॉन्ट टूल्स हैं विच आर द पार्ट ऑफ द कोश श्री पोर्टल. ठीक है, इसको फंड करता है डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ साइंस एंड टेक्नोलॉजी अंडर द साइंस एंड हेरिटेज रिसर्च इनिशिएटिव स्कीम. It was being developed by CDAC पुणे. So आप देख सकते हैं कि काफी सारे इनिशिएटिव्स को हमने कवर किया, लाइक कोश्री पोर्टल that is related to संस्कृत. अगर हम बात करें लर्निंग एंड प्रमोटिंग इंडियन लैंग्वेजेस थ्रू इंडियन लैंग्वेजेस, व्हाट इज द नेम ऑफ दैट ऐप, दैट इज भाषा सागर ऐप. हम भाषा सीख रहे हैं इंडियन भाषा से, राइट. सो दैट इज द भाषा सागर ऐप. देन वी हैव कवर्ड द वाइब. अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट वी हैव कवर्ड द स्वच्छ एवं हरित विद्यालय रेटिंग. देन वी कवर्ड तारा ऐप. Right, so these are few of the initiatives that we need to just have a good information about, awareness about it, so that even if in the examination we are being asked what are the different initiatives which have been taken, so we can mention those initiatives in our answers, right. Apart from that, in the objective question also they can be asked. Okay, I hope this is clear to everybody, right. Now moving ahead to the next important news article of the today's session, that is an MOU which has been signed between Ather Energy and the DPIIT. So Ather Energy and DPIIT ने एक नया MOU साइन किया है under the Built in Bharat Initiative. So दोस्तों, the Startup Policy Forums Built in Bharat Initiative एक गवर्नमेंट इंडस्ट्री एफर्ट है जिसके जरिए हम डीप टेक, जो डीप टेक्नोलॉजीज हैं उसके जरिए ग्रोथ लाना चाहते हैं और ईवी मैन्युफैक्चरिंग इकोसिस्टम्स को और प्रमोट करना चाहते हैं. और अभी हम बात करते हैं दोस्तों एथर एनर्जी का जो एमओयू साइन हुआ है विद द डीपीआईआईटी. इसके अंदर हमने एक पार्टनरशिप की है सो दैट ये जो एथर एनर्जी है ये काम करेगा डीपीआईआईटी के साथ, जिससे कि हम अपने स्टार्टअप्स के अंदर डीप टेक्नोलॉजीज को और ज्यादा बेटर कर पाएंगे, एनहांस कर पाएंगे, प्रमोट कर पाएंगे और साथ ही साथ उन्हें और बेटर मेंटरशिप दे पाएंगे कि इन टेक्नोलॉजीज का इस्तेमाल कैसे करना है. आफ्टर दैट वी विल बी सपोर्टिंग इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर डेवलपमेंट इन द ईवी वैल्यू चेन. सो आप सभी जानते हैं जो एथर एनर्जी है दोस्तों, दिस एथर एनर्जी इज बेसिकली ईवी कंपनी, राइट. सो इलेक्ट्रिक व्हीकल्स वैल्यू चेन को और बेटर करने के लिए, उनके इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर डेवलपमेंट के लिए ये एमओयू काम करने वाला है बिटवीन Ather Energy and the DPIIT. Okay, it is a joint innovation program as the Bharat Startup Grand Challenge. It will be promoting skill development, on-ground exposure, and participation in the events like Startup Mahakumbh. So different initiatives हैं जो कि लिए जाएंगे as a part of this MOU so that we can promote the EV value chain system in our country and we can ensure the enhancement of the deep technology embedded in our infrastructure development. So that is what we need to understand from here. यहाँ से क्या important चीज है for this MOU? What are the name of these two organizations which have signed this MOU? What is the right answer to this question? So what are the name of these two initiatives? Sorry, the entities, that is DPIIT and the Ather Energy. That is the right answer. Moving ahead to the next news article, that is India's Ramsar resolution on sustainable lifestyles and wetlands. So this is particular resolution has been adopted during one of the event. What was the event, my dear friends? The event was basically Ramsar COP15. रामसर COP15 इवेंट वाज हेल्ड इन जिम्बाब्वे. अगर हम बात करते हैं लास्ट जो COP14 थी, इट वाज हेल्ड इन वुहान, चाइना, राइट. और COP15 कहां पर हुई है? जिम्बाब्वे में हुई है. वहां पर इंडिया ने प्रेजेंट किया था रेजोल्यूशन प्रमोटिंग सस्टेनेबल लाइफस्टाइल फॉर वाइज यूज ऑफ वेटलैंड्स. हमारे वेटलैंड्स का वाइज यूज किया जा सके, दैट इज वाई. ठीक है. सो बेसिकली व्हाट आर दीज वेटलैंड्स? वेटलैंड्स के मैं एग्जांपल दे देता हूं आपको, लाइक लेक, रिवर्स, marshes, these are the examples of wetlands. So जब हम समझकर चलेंगे दोस्तों चीजों को, तो उससे चीजें हमारी और ज्यादा आसान हो जाएंगी. ठीक है. So that is why understanding is really very important from examination point of view. Okay. So wetlands का, इन wetlands का wise usage हमें करना है, और इसलिए हम एक sustainable lifestyle को promote करना चाहते हैं. And that's why this resolution was been presented by India, and it was formally adopted at the Ramsar COP15. And where exactly it was held? It was held in Zimbabwe. Okay. And what was the theme? The theme was protecting wetlands for our common future. So this year, this particular conference, we can say it was focusing on the wetlands, and the theme was protecting wetlands for common future. So this is a very important part. The theme is important, the venue is very important, and the resolution which was presented by India is also very important to be covered from examination point of view. Moving ahead. So the resolution uses integration of sustainable lifestyle based interventions into the wetland management plans and policies. So जैसा हमने मिशन लाइफ में पढ़ा था कि अपने लाइफस्टाइल के जरिए हम एनवायरमेंटल कंजर्वेशन की बात करते हैं, सिमिलरली विद द सस्टेनेबल लाइफस्टाइल बेस्ड इंटरवेंशन वी वांट टू डू वेटलैंड मैनेजमेंट. अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट द रेजोल्यूशन प्रमोट्स होल ऑफ सोसाइटी अप्रोच. तो यहां पर सिर्फ एक एंटाइटी, एक स्टेक होल्डर नहीं है, बल्कि पूरी कम्युनिटी एंगेजमेंट का इस्तेमाल किया जाएगा, सो दैट वी कैन इंश्योर द प्रोटेक्शन ऑफ दीज वेटलैंड्स व्हिच आर एग्जिस्टिंग इन आवर एनवायरनमेंट. आफ्टर दैट डेफिनेशन ऑफ सस्टेनेबल लाइफस्टाइल्स इंक्लूड्स मिनिमाइजिंग एनवायरमेंटल डिग्रेडेशन, इक्विटेबल सोशियो इकोनॉमिक डेवलपमेंट, इंप्रूव क्वालिटी ऑफ लाइफ. तो ये जो सस्टेनेबल लाइफस्टाइल है दोस्तों, इसके जरिए हम इंश्योर करेंगे कि एनवायरमेंटल डिग्रेडेशन हो ही ना. विदाउट impacting the environment in a negative manner, we are conducting all our activities. Apart from that, we will be supporting socio-economic development. We will be working on the improvement in the quality of life of the people without disturbing the existing environment that we are having right now. Okay. And even we will only try to make it better. So if I ask you that the COP15 was being conducted at which place, can anybody tell me that? What is the place where it was being conducted? So this year it was being conducted in Zimbabwe. The COP14 was held in Wuhan, China. Okay. There is a particular resolution which has been presented by India. What is the name of that particular resolution? The resolution is Ramsar Resolution on Sustainable Lifestyles and Wetlands. That is the right answer. Okay. So these are the very important part. Then the theme is very important, protecting wetlands for our common future. So this is the it that we need to understand. Now these initiatives are associated initiatives in India along with the Mission Life and Mission Sahbagita and Save Wetlands campaign. तो ये कुछ initiatives हैं जो इंडिया ने ऑलरेडी लॉन्च किए हैं, जिसके अंदर हम इन चीजों के ऊपर फोकस करते हैं, और मिशन लाइफ को हम ऑलरेडी डिस्कस कर चुके हैं. बढ़ते हैं आगे. सो द रामसर कन्वेंशन. दोस्तों रामसर कन्वेंशन की अगर हम बात करते हैं, सो रामसर कन्वेंशन कब साइन हुआ था? एंड इट इज नेम्ड आफ्टर द ईरानियन सिटी ऑफ रामसर. तो ये जो रामसर है ये एक सिटी है ईरान के अंदर. सो बेसिकली कॉन्फ्रेंस हुई थी और वहां पर रामसर कन्वेंशन को साइन किया गया था. एंड दिस रामसर सिटी इज इन ईरान. ओके, ऑन द कैस्पियन सी. अगर हम बात करें इंडिया की, सो इंदौर और उदयपुर आर नाउ द पार्ट ऑफ 31 वेटलैंड एक्रेडिटेड सिटीज वर्ल्ड वाइड. तो पूरे वर्ल्ड में टोटल 31 वेटलैंड एक्रेडिटेड सिटीज हैं, जिसमें इंदौर एंड उदयपुर आर आल्सो द पार्ट ऑफ दैट पर्टिकुलर लिस्ट. सो दोस्तों पहले हमने अपने प्रीवियस सेशंस के अंदर काफी बार इन आर्टिकल्स को डिस्कस किया है, रामसर कन्वेंशन को डिस्कस किया है. वी हैव डिस्कस द वेटलैंड्स आल्सो. आई होप कि जो ओल्ड स्टूडेंट्स उनको काफी हद तक आइडिया है व्हाट एग्जैक्टली दीज आर. ओके, और हमने आज भी इसको डिटेल में कन्वेंशन को डिस्कस कर लिया है. नाउ रामसर कन्वेंशन 2015 अप्रूव्ड अ वॉलंटरी वेटलैंड सिटी एक्रेडिटेशन सिस्टम जो रिकॉग्नाइज करता है सिटीज को हैविंग टेकन एक्सेप्शनल स्टेप्स टू सेफगार्ड देयर अर्बन वेटलैंड्स. अपने एरिया के जो एग्जिस्टिंग वेटलैंड्स हैं उनको सेफ गार्ड करने के लिए जिन्होंने स्मार्ट प्रैक्टिसेस का इस्तेमाल किया और अच्छे एफर्ट्स डाले हैं, उन सिटीज को हम इस लिस्ट के अंदर इंक्लूड करते हैं। दैट वी कॉल्ड वेटलैंड सिटी एक्रेडिटेशन। आई होप दिस इज क्लियर टू एवरीवन। ओके, सो रामसर कन्वेंशन की हमने बात की, सिटीज इन ईरान और बाकी इंपॉर्टेंट डिटेल्स को हमने डिस्कस किया है दोस्तों। आई होप दिस इज क्लियर। अब हम बढ़ते हैं अपने नेक्स्ट न्यूज आर्टिकल पर, दैट इज द नेशनल पर्सपेक्टिव प्लान। So National Perspective Plan was been launched in 1980. Let me tell you guys that there are so many rivers in our country which are full of water, and then there are some rivers which are basically dry in nature, or we can say that only on the seasonal basis they are having water in it. So the population who are dependent on such kind of rivers, who are along with the banks of these rivers, they really face a lot of issues in your daily lives, right? And that is the reason that Government of India came up with the plan of National Perspective Plan. And under this plan, what was the target? The target was basically to transfer the excess water from these basins to these dry rivers. Okay, I hope you are able to understand it. So what we are doing is the river where the water is excessive, we are transferring the water to the place which is dry in nature, so that यहाँ पर भी और पानी को ज्यादा उसका फ्लो इंक्रीज किया जा सके, so that the population which is dependent on it, it can also basically use the water for the agricultural services as well as some other facilities. I hope this is clear. So basically Ministry of Jal Shakti ने नेशनल पर्सपेक्टिव प्लान 1980 को लॉन्च किया था दोस्तों, और साथ ही साथ रिसेंटली एन अपडेट रिगार्डिंग इट हैज बीन गिवन। अब हम बात करते हैं नेशनल पर्सपेक्टिव प्लान की। सो 30 रिवर प्रोजेक्ट्स हैव बीन इंक्लूडेड in the national perspective plan. Okay, so 30 interlinking of river projects have been identified under the NPP, जहां पर 14 projects are under the Himalayan component and 16 projects are under the peninsular component. So यहाँ पर हमारी कौन सी rivers हैं? Can anybody tell me that? Can anybody tell me which are the rivers which are the part of Himalayan component? These are Ganga, Yamuna, Brahmaputra, on which we are focusing in the Himalayan component. And then in the peninsular component, what are the rivers? These are like Krishna, Kaveri, Godavari. So these are some rivers which are the part of peninsular component. So please remember, there are 30 projects that we have identified under the National Perspective Plan. There are two components, 14 rivers in the Himalayan component, 16 rivers in the peninsular component. Okay, अगर हम बात करते हैं जो पहला इंटरलिंकिंग प्रोजेक्ट था हमारा दोस्तों, दैट वाज द केन बेतवा लिंक प्रोजेक्ट। दैट इज द केन बेतवा लिंक प्रोजेक्ट टू एंटर द इंप्लीमेंटेशन फेज। अभी इंप्लीमेंटेशन फेज में आने वाला है। गवर्नमेंट गवर्न बाय द एग्रीमेंट साइन बिटवीन मध्य प्रदेश एंड उत्तर प्रदेश इन 2021। तो इस प्रोजेक्ट को एग्जीक्यूट करने के लिए और इसकी प्रॉपर गवर्नेंस के लिए एक एमओयू साइन किया गया था बाय द टू स्टेट्स। व्हाट आर द नेम ऑफ दीज टू स्टेट्स? एमपी एंड यूपी। व्हाट इज द नेम ऑफ द फर्स्ट इंटर रिवर लिंकिंग प्रोजेक्ट ऑफ आवर कंट्री? दैट इज केन बेतवा river linking project. I hope this is clear to all of you. So designed to transfer surplus water from the Ken river from Madhya Pradesh to water scarce Betwa basin in the Uttar Pradesh. तो आप देख सकते हैं कि I hope you are able to make the point here कि Ken river से Betwa basin के अंदर हम excess water को डालना चाहते हैं, so that कि वहां पर भी एग्रीकल्चरल एक्टिविटीज और बाकी और एक्टिविटीज के लिए पानी का इस्तेमाल किया जा सके, right? So that's all that we need to understand from here. So this is the national perspective plan that we need to see. Okay, so it is being managed by and implemented by National Water Development Agency and enables transfer of water from surplus basins to the deficient basins. So that is the key objective of this part. I hope this is clear, guys, and everybody is able to understand it. So if I ask you that what is the year when the National Perspective Plan was been adopted, can anybody tell me in the chat box? What is it? It is 1980. Absolutely right. And in the chat box I can see here that so many people have given me the right answer. Deepak Harshal has given me right answer to the questions of the different rivers which are the part. So can anybody tell me that how many projects have been identified in our country under the National Perspective Plan? How many projects are there? There are 30 projects. And how many components are there? That these are two components. First component is Himalayan component, other one is the peninsular component. In Himalayan component, there are 14 projects. In the peninsular component, there are 16 components. Which is the first? Which is the first Indian inter-river linking project? Can anybody tell me that? What is the name of it? Please tell me in the chat box. What is the name? The name is Ken-Betwa Interlinking River Project. And for this, two states have signed an MOU. What are the name of these two states? Very simple, guys. Very simple. We are talking about the MOU. MOU. One state is Madhya Pradesh, other state is Uttar Pradesh. Right? So in this manner also you can remember it. And why exactly I am asking you these questions in between the session, guys? Why exactly? So that you can analyze yourself even during the session itself, that whether you are able to retain the important aspects of these news articles or not. That is only the objective of me asking the questions with all of you during the session itself. Right? I hope you guys are able to understand this point. Okay. Moving ahead. Now we are moving to the Consumer Protection Act 2019. So my dear friends, let me tell you that earlier we were having the Consumer Protection Act 1986. We were having Consumer Protection Act 1986. But 1986 के बाद हमारी इकोनॉमी में क्या हुआ दोस्तों? There was a transitional change in the economy of our country. How? Now we are having the digital economy. पहले e-commerce websites नहीं होती थी. We used to go outside in the markets, right? But now e-commerce is there. पहले flash sales नहीं होती थी. पहले influencer marketing नहीं होती थी. So in order to cater to the challenges which are being created, these transformational shifts in the economy, the government of India decided to replace the Consumer Protection Act 1986 with the Consumer Protection Act 2019. That was the reason, in order to protect the rights of the consumer and to make the laws flexible with the latest changes which has happened to the economy, the Consumer Protection Act 2019 was being launched by the government of India, and we have modernized the consumer laws for the digital era which has taken place in our country. हम डिजिटल इंडिया की बात करते हैं. सो डिजिटल इंडिया से क्या क्या चेंजेस आए हैं हमारी इकोनॉमी के अंदर, सो उसको केटर करने के लिए और हमारे कंज्यूमर्स की प्रोटेक्शन के लिए वी केम अप विद द कंज्यूमर प्रोटेक्शन एक्ट 2019. I hope this is clear. So इसके बाद you can see here that there are different things which have been taken place, like we have seen 3-tier consumer commission system for quick dispute resolution. दोस्तों as a customer आपके बहुत सारे disputes होते हैं. Let me give you an example. मान लीजिए कि आपने किसी भी फूड प्लेटफॉर्म से कोई भी, let's take an example, आपने अपने लिए कोई भी खाना मंगवाया, right? You have ordered some food for yourself, and now you have seen like you have ordered Manchurian and they were properly burned, right? So what will you do? You will be complaining to that. अगर आप वहीं रेस्टोरेंट में जाकर खाना खा रहे होते, what is going to happen? You can only that time just call the manager and your meal will be replaced, right? But when you have ordered the food and it has already come to your house and now you have started eating it, so now there must be some law so that we can redress the grievance that you are having right now. That is why we came up with the Consumer Protection Act 2019. And for the quick dispute resolution, we have a 3-tier consumer commission system. Like there is a 1 National Consumer Dispute Redressal Commission, 35 state commissions, 685 district commissions that we have created. Apart from that, we also see that there is a lot of false marketing which is being done by the people, right? Like there are companies which are running the fake advertisements, like claiming that their product is the best product, but how they claim that. So that is why we also had a Central Consumer Protection Authority which was established in 2020 to regulate matters relating to the violation of consumer rights, misleading advertisements and unfair trade practices, right? So basically, for example, आपने काफी बार देखा होगा दोस्तों that diabetes के लिए the people say that आपकी diabetes बिल्कुल ठीक हो जाएगी, right? Apart from that, the people who are facing the issue with their hairs, they just say that just grow your hair in the 30 days, full guarantee, right? So such kind of misleading advertisements always lure the customers, and that's where the CCPA rules comes into play, and that's why it was established in 2020. I hope you are able to understand this point. Now, online complaint filing allowed from the consumer's place of work or the residence is allowed. Video conferencing has been started for hearings and deemed admissibility if not acted upon within the 21 days. वीडियो कॉन्फ्रेंसिंग के जरिए वी कैन डू दैट. 21 डेज के अंदर आपकी कंप्लेंट रिड्रेस नहीं होती, देन ऑल्सो वी कैन डू दैट. सो दैट इज व्हाट वी नीड टू डू. एब्सोल्युटली मयंक इज गिविंग द आंसर लाइक 25 दिन में पैसा डबल. एब्सोल्युटली राइट. दिस इज ऑल्सो वन काइंड ऑफ सच काइंड ऑफ मिसलीडिंग एडवर्टीजमेंट. Moving ahead, there is section 38(7) which mandates complaints to be resolved within 3 months. अगर किसी प्रोडक्ट की टेस्टिंग की रिक्वायरमेंट नहीं है तो 3 मंथ्स में आपकी कंप्लेंट रिड्रेस हो जानी चाहिए. और जहां पर टेस्टिंग रिक्वायर्ड है, देयर आर 5 months timeline that we must having, right? Apart from that, e-Jagriti portal has been launched by the government of India. Now, what is e-Jagriti portal? Let me tell you here. ये जो e-Jagriti है, Jagriti has its own particular full form here. Now, what exactly it is? Can anybody tell me in the chat box? What is e-Jagriti portal? What exactly Jagriti stands for? Do not worry, I am having the complete coverage on the scene. So Jagriti stands for Justice and Grievance Redressal for Consumers using Information Technology and Innovation. आप फिर से देख सकते हैं, डिजिटल स्पेस की हम बात कर रहे हैं, राइट? द कंज्यूमर्स यूजिंग इंफॉर्मेशन टेक्नोलॉजी एंड इनोवेशन. दैट्स व्हाई इन 2023 मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ कंज्यूमर अफेयर्स केम अप विद द आइडिया ऑफ ई-जागृति पोर्टल व्हिच वाज डेवलप्ड बाय नेशनल इंफॉर्मेटिक्स सेंटर. और ऑब्जेक्टिव काफी सिंपल था, दैट वी वांटेड टू सिंप्लीफाई एंड एनहांस द कंज्यूमर ग्रीवेंस रिड्रेसल प्रोसेस. सो बेसिकली हमें सिंप्लीफाई करना है, और ये जो प्रोसेस है ग्रीवेंस रिड्रेसल का, दैट मींस जो हमारे कंज्यूमर्स की शिकायतें हैं उनका रेजोल्यूशन मिलने का जो प्रोसेस है उसको हमें सिंप्लीफाई करना है और इंटीग्रेट करना है डिफरेंट प्लेटफॉर्म्स को, लाइक ई दाखिल प्लेटफॉर्म, कॉन्फोनेट, ओसीएमएस. तो इन सभी को हमने एक यूनिफाइड डिजिटल सिस्टम में इंटीग्रेट किया अंडर द ई-जागृति पोर्टल. Confonet stands for Computerization and Computer Networking of Consumer Commissions in the country. OCMS stands for Online Computerized Monitoring System. Let me tell you, एग्जाम में Confonet OCMS का फुल फॉर्म नहीं आएगा, बट यस, ई-जागृति पोर्टल क्या है, कब लॉन्च हुआ, what exactly is the full form of the Jagriti, that can be asked, right? So that's why it is very important for us to understand that what exactly we have to remember, what exactly we are not required to remember. So as an aspirant, your time is the most valuable asset. You should ensure that you are investing your time in a very wise manner. Okay? So जिन चीजों को याद करना है, I'm telling you here that this is something that you need to retain. जिसको याद नहीं करना है उसको just see, okay, for the knowledge as well. You can see that okay, this is something which is existing, right? So we have done it. तो ई-जागृति पोर्टल इज क्लियर. 2023 में लॉन्च हुआ. किसके लिए लॉन्च हुआ? कंज्यूमर्स के लिए. कंज्यूमर्स के लिए कौन सी मिनिस्ट्री है? मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ कंज्यूमर अफेयर्स है. ई-जागृति पोर्टल को किसने बनाया? एनआईसी, नेशनल इंफॉर्मेटिक्स सेंटर ने बनाया. वेरी सिंपल. क्यों बनाया? जागृति को क्यों लॉन्च किया गया? सो दैट जो ग्रीवेंस रिड्रेसल मैकेनिज्म है उसको सिंप्लीफाई और एनहांस किया जा सके. दैट इज द ओनली रीजन. सो आई होप एवरीबॉडी इज क्लियर विद दिस. Moving on to the next important news article, that is the Global Tiger Day. Now we are focusing on those current affairs which are only relevant in the phase 1 exam point of view. That is the current affair which is not related to the topics mentioned in the syllabus of your regulatory bodies examinations. Okay, but banking examination aspirants के लिए सारे ही current affairs हमारे same हैं. Okay, so Global Tiger Day हम celebrate करते हैं every year on 29th of July. It was established in 2010 during the St. Petersburg Tiger Summit. So यहां से मुझे एक प्रोजेक्ट याद आता है दोस्तों, दैट इज इन इंडिया ऑल्सो फॉर द कंजर्वेशन एंड द पॉपुलेशन ऑफ द टाइगर in our country. A project Tiger was been launched by the government of India. Can anybody tell me in the chat box in which year project Tiger was been launched? So 29th जुलाई को ग्लोबल टाइगर डे मनाया जाता है. इंडिया ने एक प्रोजेक्ट टाइगर को लॉन्च किया था फॉर द conservation of the tiger population in our country, because we all know that there was a time when the tiger population in our country was decreasing. So what is that particular year when it was being launched? And yes, Harshal has given me the right answer. It was 1973. April 1973 के अंदर इस पर्टिकुलर प्रोजेक्ट को लॉन्च किया गया. और इस प्रोजेक्ट को कौन मैनेज करता है? What is that authority? It is National Tiger Conservation Authority, which has been there. Okay, so this is something that we also require to understand from the static portion point of view. टाइगर्स की बात हुई है तो आपको यहाँ पर थोड़ा स्टैटिक पोर्शन भी जानना चाहिए, नॉट जस्ट फॉर द एग्जामिनेशन पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू ओनली, बट फॉर योर अवेयरनेस ऑल्सो कि इंडिया में आप रहते हैं, इंडिया में कौन कौन से इनिशिएटिव्स लिए गए हैं फॉर दिस. I hope this is clear. Moving to the next news article. Longest Bharatnatyam performance record has been created by Ramona Aveth Pereira, as she has created the Golden Book of World Record for performing Bharatnatyam for continuous 170 hours. तो 170 hours तक लगातार इन्होंने भरतनाट्यम किया. So basically that's why she has basically made this record, a Golden Book of World Records. She is a classical dancer from Mangaluru, Karnataka. Right? देखिए दोस्तों, शी इज परफॉर्मिंग भरतनाट्यम फॉर 170 आवर्स. और काफी हम कंप्लेंट सुनते हैं स्टूडेंट से कि सर 5 घंटे 6 घंटे कैसे पढ़े. गाइस डो नॉट वरी, 5-6 घंटे नहीं पढ़ के एटलीस्ट 2-3 घंटे निकालिए, धीरे धीरे शुरुआत कीजिए. यू विल बी कमिंग ऑन टू द मोमेंटम बनेगा, धीरे धीरे हैबिट बनेगी, प्रैक्टिस और करेंगे, यू विल बी एबल टू अटेन दैट पर्टिकुलर पार्ट. एंड ऑल्सो इट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट कि बीच में रेस्ट लेना बहुत जरूरी है. राइट, इट इज क्वाइट हैबिचुअल. सो 170 आवर्स लगातार नहीं पढ़ना आपको, बट एटलीस्ट दिन का 2-3 घंटा आप निकालिए अपने बिजी स्केड्यूल से एंड ट्राई टू कवर द इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग्स विच आर रियली वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टू बी डन फ्रॉम योर एग्जामिनेशन पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू. ओके, और यहाँ के लिए याद रखिए नाम रेमोना एवेथ पेरेरा, जिन्होंने की रिकॉर्ड बनाया फॉर परफॉर्मिंग भरतनाट्यम कॉन्टिन्यूअसली फॉर 170 आवर्स. जस्ट टेकिंग अ स्मॉल लेसन फ्रॉम दिस बिग अचीवमेंट. Moving ahead, 100 years of Indian hockey's legacy. So 15th Hockey India Congress was held recently in Tamil Nadu, and this Congress was been launched for marking the century of Indian hockey's legacy and achievements. Right? So 100 years हो चुके हैं, and where exactly this Congress was been held recently? In Tamil Nadu. That is the right answer. Moving ahead, India's first Hindi medium medical college. So guys, Madhya Pradesh has come up with this very important initiative. अभी अभी हमने पढ़ा नेशनल एजुकेशन पॉलिसी के बारे में जो हमारी मदर टंग को सपोर्ट करती है. सो बेसिकली मध्य प्रदेश हैज कम अप विद दिस इनिशिएटिव ऑफ कमिंग विद इंडियाज फर्स्ट हिंदी मीडियम मेडिकल कॉलेज इन जबलपुर. लेट मी टेल यू हियर, इससे पहले मध्य प्रदेश ने एक और ऐसा इनिशिएटिव लॉन्च किया था जिसके अंडर दे जस्ट केम अप विद द आइडिया ऑफ एमबीबीएस कोर्सेज इन हिंदी. तो एमबीबीएस कोर्स हिंदी में निकालने का इन्होंने इनिशिएटिव लॉन्च किया था. एंड अगेन वी कैन सी दैट इट इज फोकसिंग ऑन द मदर टंग ऑफ आवर नेशन, राइट, दैट इज हिंदी. राइट, प्लीज डो नॉट ऑफेंड, देयर आर अदर लैंग्वेजेस आल्सो, जस्ट आई होप यू विल बी एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड. राइट, सो आई होप दिस इज क्लियर. मूविंग अहेड, प्रोफेसर उमा कंजीलाल has been appointed as the first women vice chancellor of Indira Gandhi National Open University. So Professor Uma Kanjilal बनी है फर्स्ट वुमेन वाइस चांसलर ऑफ इंदिरा गांधी नेशनल ओपन यूनिवर्सिटी. और इससे पहले इन्होंने एक्टिव वाइस चांसलर भी रह चुकी हैं, नेशनल कोऑर्डिनेटर रह चुकी हैं स्वयं पोर्टल एंड स्वयं प्रभा इनिशिएटिव्स की. ओके, मूविंग अहेड, वर्ल्ड डे अगेंस्ट ट्रैफिकिंग इन पर्संस फॉर रेजिंग एंड अवेयरिंग द राइट्स अबाउट द persons, about the people who got trafficked. So basically उनके लिए ये एक डे हम सेलिब्रेट करते हैं at the world level, that is World Day Against Trafficking in Persons, that we celebrate every year on 30th of July. Theme for 2025 is Human Trafficking in Organized Crime and the Exploitation. So whenever you are covering important day, just try to focus here that what is the date and what is the theme that we need to understand and cover from examination point of view. So यहाँ पर what is the date when we celebrate this day? That is 30th July. And what is the theme? The theme is human trafficking is organized crime and the exploitation. That is the right answer. Moving ahead, 100th birth anniversary of Ritwik Ghatak. So Ritwik Ghatak is a personality who is really very much famous in the Bengali cinema. So Indian Film Festival of Melbourne, इन्होंने कोमेमोरेट किया है 100th बर्थ एनिवर्सरी ऑफ ऋत्विक घातक बाय होस्टिंग अ स्पेशल रेट्रोस्पेक्टिव सेगमेंट ड्यूरिंग दिस पर्टिकुलर इवेंट. ऋत्विक घातक की बात की जाए तो ये इंडियन फिल्म मेकर, स्क्रीन राइटर एंड प्ले राइट हैं. सो दिस इज समथिंग दैट वी नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड फ्रॉम हियर. सो प्लीज जस्ट रिमेंबर द नेम ऋत्विक घातक. कौन कोमेमोरेट कर रहा है इनकी 100th बर्थ एनिवर्सरी? इंडियन फिल्म फेस्टिवल ऑफ मेलबर्न. दैट इज द राइट पार्ट. मूविंग अहेड, लॉर्ड मेघनाथ देसाई, ही इज अ पद्म भूषण who won in 2008 and he passed away recently. He is a prominent economist originally from Vadodara, Gujarat. So just remember the name Lord Meghnad Desai, and he was a member of House of Lords UK and conferred Padma Bhushan in 2008. That is the right part. So moving ahead, India's second longest serving prime minister. So Narendra Modi ji has surpassed द कॉन्जिक्यूटिव टेन्योर रिकॉर्ड ऑफ इंदिरा गांधी जी। तो इससे पहले अगर हम बात करते हैं दोस्तों, ओवरऑल अगर हम बात करें, जो लॉन्गेस्ट सर्विंग हमारे प्राइम मिनिस्टर रह चुके हैं, दैट इज जवाहरलाल नेहरू जी, who was the first prime minister of our country, right? So इसके बाद इंदिरा गांधी जी थी सेकंड पोजीशन पर, बट अब ये जो सेकंड लॉन्गेस्ट सर्विंग प्राइम मिनिस्टर का रिकॉर्ड है, अब प्राइम मिनिस्टर मोदी जी के पास आ चुका है। यू कैन सी हियर that he has become India's second longest serving prime minister in the consecutive terms. इंदिरा गांधी जी की बात की जाए तो 1966 से 1977 में इन्होंने सर्व किया था continuously. Then she came back to power in 1980, right? But अगर हम मोदी जी की बात करें, so he assumed office in 2014 and since then he is the prime minister of our country. And that's how he has basically surpassed this record of Indira Gandhi ji, and the only person now is Jawaharlal Nehru ji, who is basically the longest serving prime minister of our country. Can anybody tell me what was the tenure? कितने साल तक ये प्राइम मिनिस्टर रहे थे इंडिया के? So that is around 16 years. That is around 16 years. Moving ahead, Indian national decathlon record. So recently a championship was taking place in Poland, and during that Indian Tejaswin Shankar has created a record for India for the second time. He scored a total of 7826 points, finishing 4th overall in the event. When we talk about the decathlon event, my dear friends, it is a combined track and field competition. तो जहां पर 10 days के लिए कुछ different events रहते हैं, जहां पर वो पर्सन पार्टिसिपेट करते हैं, और यहां पर तेजस्विन शंकर जी ने इंडियन रिकॉर्ड बनाया है। और इससे पहले अगर हम बात करते हैं तो ऑन्ड्रेज कोपेक्सी ऑफ जेकिया वन द इवेंट विद द मीट रिकॉर्ड ऑफ 8254 पॉइंट्स। ठीक है, सो 4th नंबर पे थे तेजस्विन शंकर जी इन दिस पार्ट। जस्ट रिमेंबर तेजस्विन शंकर, जिन्होंने ये नेशनल रिकॉर्ड बनाया है। मूविंग अहेड, बैन ऑन सोशल मीडिया यूजेज। So my dear friends, in Australia has become the first country globally जिन्होंने properly introduce किया comprehensive ban on the social media usage for the children under the age of 16 years. 16 साल से नीचे के जो बच्चे हैं उनके लिए ये रूल पास किया है ऑस्ट्रेलियन गवर्नमेंट ने कि they can't use this social media, right? Which includes YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok and Twitter. The new name for the Twitter is X. Okay, so this is one of the most stringent child protection measures which has been taken in the digital space, which is going on recently across the world. So please remember the name. What is the name of the country which has basically come up with the new rule of banning the usage of social media apps by the children under the age of 16 years? What is the right answer? What is the name of this particular country? That is India. Not India, that is Australia. Australia is the right answer. Okay, so that's it. Moving ahead, President of UNGCNI. So basically United Nations Global Compact Network India की नई प्रेसिडेंट बनी है। क्या नाम है इनका? वैशाली निगम सिन्हा। वैशाली निगम सिन्हा रेन्यू की को फाउंडर रह चुकी हैं, एंड शी हैज बीन अपॉइंटेड एज द प्रेसिडेंट ऑफ UN Global Compact Network India. That is the right part. Absolutely right. So Australia is the right answer to that question. Well done. बढ़ते हैं दोस्तों अब अपने इस सेशन के मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट पार्ट की तरफ। So till now we have covered all the important contents of the current affairs from 29 to 31st of July 2025. ठीक है, and do not worry, आज शाम के जो current affairs हैं वो हमारे अगले सेशन के अंदर कवर कर दिए जाएंगे। Don't worry about it. So I hope that this is clear to everyone. Now just covering the current affairs is not at all sufficient. We are also required to make sure that we are solving the MCQs also on the same. So that's why we have come up with the MCQs for the practice, so that you can definitely practice these MCQs. So the first question here for all of you is, who is the president of UNGCNI? अभी recently हमने इसको cover किया है. What is the name of this person? A very easy question for all of you. The right answer is Vaishali Nigam Sinha. Option C is the right answer. And again, I can see in the chat box, so many people are saying Vaishali Nigam Sinha. Absolutely right. Moving ahead, which country became the first in the world to enforce comprehensive social media ban for the children under 16 years? You have just answered me the question. The right answer is Australia. Option D, Australia is the right answer. Next question, please name the Indian who has created a national record in the decathlon event. What is the name of the person? Tejaswin Shankar. Tejaswin Shankar, option C is the right answer. Next question, so World Day Against Trafficking in Persons 2025. What is the theme of this particular day. We have already covered that this day is being celebrated every year on 30th of July. Now, what is the theme? The theme is human trafficking is organized crime and the exploitation. So option C is the right answer to this question. Okay, absolutely right. I can see in the chat box, Gururaj, Richa, Virat, Harshal, Mayank, Fruity, everybody has given the right answer. Well done, guys. Now I am having a homework question for you, but homework question a little bit twisted here. तो आज हमने स्टेटमेंट बेस्ड क्वेश्चन अभी कोई सॉल्व नहीं किया, सो आपके लिए होमवर्क क्वेश्चन इज गोइंग टू बी अ चैलेंज, राइट? सो होमवर्क क्वेश्चन है आपके सामने विच इज ऑन द नेशनल पर्सपेक्टिव प्लान. So you have to identify here which of the following statements are correct. So ऐसे क्वेश्चन को आंसर करने के लिए क्या अप्रोच हम यूज करते हैं? We used to discuss it daily. The first approach is we have to identify the demand of the question. Sorry, we need to identify the central topic, right? What is the central topic? That is the National Perspective Plan 1980. Okay, then we need to identify the keywords here. Sorry, the demand of the question. Sorry, guys. Third thing is we need to identify the keywords. So these are the three steps. First, we will be identifying the central topic, that is National Perspective Plan. Then we will be focusing on the demand of the question. The demand of the question is to identify correct statement. And the third part is identifying the keywords. So uske baad we will be able to answer the question, right? So please make sure that you will be giving me the answer to this question in the chat box. So now if we talk about the people who will be giving me the right answers in the chat box, they will be the star performer of our today's session. और अगर last session के star performer की बात करें, the question was on the River Cities Alliance and the right answer to this question is option B, that is 2 and 3 only. So I was seeing the comment section, so many students also said that only option E is the right answer, that is only third statement. Let me tell you guys that the Urban River Management Plan जो launch किया जाता है, it is basically for integrating the environmental, economic and social aspects for the urban river management, and that is why statement 2 is also correct here. Okay, so statement 2 and 3 are correct. Right answer is option B, and these are all the people who are the star performers of the previous session. You can see Akansha, Ashish, Loim, Soumya, Tanu, Pratiksha, Pranathi, Nikhil, Shreyansh, Sayali, Pratibha. So these are all the star performers from the previous session. If you also want your name to be mentioned here, please ensure that you are also giving me the answer in the comment section, right? Do not worry, गलत होता है, do not worry guys, ठीक होता है तो it will be boosting your confidence, गलत होता है तो you will be learning from that experience, right? क्योंकि at the end of the day, exam time में you are supposed to answer the questions, right? And in order to become the next officer, you have to answer the question correctly. Okay, so do not worry about it, just taking a lesson and just focusing on what are my weak areas and my strength area. जो weak areas है उनको strength में convert करना है, strength areas को strength बनाए रखना है. Okay, now guys, that's all from the today's session. I hope कि आज का session आप सभी को पसंद आया होगा. And apart from that, for the revision of this particular session, you can download the PDF of the session, where you will find the PDF in the Telegram channel. So Telegram channel पर हमारे सारे PDFs होते हैं हमारे YouTube sessions के. You can just access the PDFs from those Telegram channel and that is completely free. Do not worry about it. Telegram channel को ज्वाइन कैसे करेंगे आप? नीचे डिस्क्रिप्शन के अंदर आपको लिंक दिया गया है. Just click on that link and download the PDF of the session. Okay, within 24 hours आपको सेशन का PDF मिल जाएगा वहां से. Don't worry about it. So my dear friend, that's all from the today's session, and I hope that today's session was really useful and fruitful to all of you. If you are having any queries, please feel free to revert here in the chat box. I am open for all your queries. Apart from that, if you need any mentorship guidance, do not worry. Just share your concern via email at hello@edutap.co.in, or you can also call our team at 8146207241 and we will be having a one-on-one conversation with you to resolve all your doubts and the problems that you are facing with your current affairs preparation, or be it any other part of your preparation, right? So now I'm waiting for a response in the chat box. If there is some queries, please feel free to ask. So I can see in the chat box that there is not a single query. That means we can conclude the session, guys. Again, it was really great to have all of you here in the today's session. Now we will be meeting you in the next session. Till then, stay happy, stay healthy. Wish you all happy learning.